Solo llámame.
Hey everyone, this is Elise, and thank you so much for tuning into my video. Today I want to show you how I did my makeup for Miami Bash. So the way that I always like to start is with my eyes. That way if I can clean up any fallout that I have under my eyes or on the side, and I can just easily clean up the side if I want a nice sharp. So I'm going to use this Lorac eye primer to make the eyeshadow pop. Just need a little bit, goes a long way. Then I'm going to use this Lorac PRO Palette because it's one of my favorite neutrals. And so the first color that I'm going to be using from this is called Canvas. And I'm going to put it all over my eyelid. Gonna make sure I have a nice base. And then I'm gonna mix it a little bit with Blanc to give it a little bit more of a blank canvas since I'm really pale. And then I'm gonna mix it with Blanc, which is right next to it, to give it a little bit more of a blank canvas since I'm really pale. Alright. Then what I like to do is I like to put mattes on my eyelid and shimmer by the brow bone. So I'm gonna mix Almond Pearl and Lieutenant Gold. Then, for the next step, I like to use this fluffy brush from Real Techniques with a little rounder top so I can go into my crease. And right now I'm going to be using clay. And then the trick to makeup, and especially eyeshadow, is to blend, 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 blend. Lots of patience because that's the way of makeup. Once I layered clay, I like to put a little bit more darkness on the edges with Cool Top. Just on the edges, like so, to give it a bit more dimension. And I like to put Terracotta. I like to blend the clay and the terracotta more to the edge of my inner lid, like so. I'm going to mix it with clay. I'm going to do the same to the other side now. Now I'm just going to even them out a little bit, make them the same. With terracotta on top, mixed with a little bit of clay. And we're done. Well, with the eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to be using Tarte's So Fine eyeliner because it's super thin and I can control it more. This is the first time I'm freehanding this because usually I have to be really close to the mirror and have like both hands stable, but let's see how it comes out. And so what I love about this So Fine eyeliner is that you guys saw that how blonde my eyelashes are. So sometimes like they'll have a gap between the mascara and my eyelid. So with this fine tip, I like to, color in the base of my eyelashes very close to my eyelid. I put on the mascara, as you can see, and I like to put on this Dior mascara. It's called Dior Icon Overcurl Waterproof. And I like to top it off with Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. And I wanted to put waterproof mascara that day because my sound check was pretty early that day and the concert was at 7 o'clock at night. So I just wanted to make sure that my mascara wasn't running or like flaking or anything like that, so I just put waterproof so I didn't have to worry about it. And now for the next step is that I put on primer for my face, for my foundation. And so my favorite primer to put on is actually Hourglass's Veil. And so I actually ran out of the big bottle and I threw it away. But I always ask for these samplers, which by the way, if you would like to try any products that, you know, is liquid form at Sephora, you can ask for a sample to test it out and see if it works out for you. They're totally free. So what I love about this primer is that as a dry skin combination skin, but more leaning towards dry skin, my foundation usually breaks up around, actually on the bridge of my nose and on my chin. A little bit by my cheeks, like the foundation would just break up and it would look like I didn't have any on, but this primer really holds my foundation together and makes it last for a long time. Next is my Hourglass foundation. One of my favorites is the Vanishing stick, and this is in the color of Bisque. Since I have a very pink tone face, since my face is very pink, as you can see, I like a more yellow base to even out my face, which I call the canvas. Now for concealer, what I love about this foundation is that it can also be used as a concealer. You just put a little bit more on. I like to use this concealer brush. And then I like to even it out a little bit with a little sponge. And now what I like to do for contour is I like to take the same foundation of Hourglass in the shade of Espresso and just put on little triangles like this. And then we blend it out with my favorite brush, which is, honestly, it's so cute. It's shaped like a heart. It's from It Cosmetics, and it's called Love is the Foundation. It's so cute. Ooh, I'm loving how that looks. And now we set the face with my favorite palette from Hourglass, which is the Ambient Lighting Edit Surreal Light. And it's $80, it's pretty pricey, but it comes in a deal because it brings 2 blushes, a bronzer, a highlight, and a setting powder to set my whole face. So first thing I'm going to do is set the face, set under the eyes, also, and then we're going to contour with their bronzer, and I like to use this rounded pointed brush, and we're gonna accentuate the contour points. And then the way that I like to contour is by making a 3. So I just slide this down here, make my jawline a little bit more profound. That's the trick to looking slimmer. And then I like to pat a little bit up here, like so, not so aggressive, like here by the cheekbones. You just make it aggressive by the cheekbone, not on the hairline, to give the face a little bit more dimension. And then I like to do it a little bit here, define my chin also. Now that we're done with the 3 or the E, I like to contour my nose to make it a little bit more slimmer. So I get a concealer brush and the same bronzer you used on your cheeks. And I like to go from my eyebrow lightly to my nose. And make sure you dip it very lightly into the bronzer, because the lighter you make it, the more you can blend. The darker you make it, it's a little harder to blend. And then I grab a brush like this, and I do the sides. Now for the blush, I like to use a lighter one because it gives me a nice natural blush look. And if you mix it a little bit with your contour, it gives it an even more natural look. And now I'm going to highlight with their highlighter. Now I like to put highlight right above where I put bronzer and blush. I also like to put it on the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my cupid's bow. Now, time for the eyebrows. Usually I do it with a steady hand, but for a more precise look, since I have an eyebrow that arches up, so I like to use a Anastasia Beverly Hills Stencils, and I use Pretty Arch. And I also like to use Colourpop's Dip Brow, which is called Blonde. And then I like to finish off my brows using the Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel in Caramel. And last but not least, I add lipstick. So what I used at Miami Bash was Too Faced's Melted Berry. Wow, this looks way more pink on camera, but it's actually more of a berry color, like the bottle. And so that's my tutorial, guys. I hope you like it.